just fixed the feed. I'm trying to figure out, I haven't used Twitch in quite a while, so this might be a little bit rough at first. Let me see what I can do here. Oh, we're all commercial every time you fucking open the stream. Alright, so let me just get that off the bat here. Let me just get my commercial done with. Anyway, so welcome to the channel if you are listening or watching. I'm currently doing my Dark Souls 2 run-through, and this is my character on his second run-through, so I wanted to go through this with my own kind of, you know, experience involved, so I can definitely be better at it. Anyway, let's hope that the channel goes well, and let's watch, and let's hope we can do a good job here. Anyway, so first class I chose as a knight class, if you can't tell. I am not wearing the beginning level armor because I may have it. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna put on all the knight gear that, you know, you start off with, so this is all kind of, you know, we all can be on the same page here. So I start off as knight class, and this is my character as so far. I may have a few things that nobody else has yet, so do not be threatening that I am having it already. I kind of started off with a beginning class, and then I went through the whole game, and now I know exactly everything you might need to know in case we are going over this again. So if you wanted to ask questions or anything like that, I'm following the feed right now, so I can listen to anything you have to say, and if you want comments and concerns, just please put them in the comment section and I'll read them off. And anyway, here we go. So for first beginning area, you have a first NPC you fight against. If you want to read the signals, they'll tell you how to fight. So blocking, basic, nothing he can do. Oh no, he hit me. Anyway, yeah, all first enemies are pretty much simple, one hit and drops. And turn right here, you're gonna find, I think something's gonna be just around here. Yep, there we go. I think it's going to be your first soul. Yep, Proud of a Soul Paladin. And souls get larger as you can find them. The larger they are and the larger they look like, you know, an indication. They usually drop a lot of quantity of souls. So these become early on. If you find a lot of them, save up. Don't use them immediately, because if you die, that is going to be bad, because then you will have to go back, and when you die in this game, you will drop those souls. And when you drop those souls, you have to go back and get where you died. There will be a green indicator where you died, and a blood sign below it that indicates where you died and where your souls are gathered. If you cannot get back to your souls and die before you can gather them, you will lose them all entirely. So that in itself is a bad move, and I would recommend that you definitely avoid all enemy fights or take at least the easiest route there to get your souls back. Okay, so here we go, and welcome to the stream. Hello. And here we go. Boom! One hit, one spell. So, welcome to the stream, whoever is viewing. I am currently going on my secondary playthrough, and I'm just here to help you intro into the game as smoothly as possible. And right here should have been an Estus Shard or your Estus Flask, which, you know, this guy in the dead pool of, I guess, like this used to be a water wizard? I don't know, actually. And he died here, and this is where you get your first Estus Flask, which is right down here. And I have a lot, so don't worry about it. This is just my playthrough second time, so I have a lot of it. I'll just show you where all the tricks and tips are. I'm sorry if this is kind of like my stumbling and mumbling. I'm kind of just doing this. I haven't done this in quite a while, so bear with me. I'm going to try to do this again. This is my second time twitching, really. I'm not really good at it, but I'm going to try to help you guys get along. Anyway, just put some comments down, and I'll just read them off and tell you what you need to know about the game. I'm doing the basic knight build. Well, the character I chose, he's kind of a different class. And I have a lot of rings and stuff that you're not going to see just yet, and I could show them off to you. But right now, we're just going to go through the basic beginner run. I went the knight class, but I also leaned him into a faith build, which means he uses miracles. I'll show you such a miracle just right now. I have a little talisman that lets me channel miracles. I can use Great Heal, Magic Barrier, which blocks all magic attacks, but not physical attacks. That's really what people forget. Ranged magic attacks, it will block. But if you use this in, like, I don't know, a physical magic attack, it will not work. It will literally, that guy will go straight through that like paper and just own you. So do not make the mistake like I did. Tears of Denial, which allows me to, like, once I hit 0 on my health indicator, I can survive and go beyond that indication. So super helpful spell in PvP and PvE. So don't drop that spell if you become a miracle class. And this is not a recommendation how you should build your class. Knight class is always beginner user, and it is pretty much recommended at the beginning of the game to go knight, and from there to branch out and use different, you know, basic stats. So let's go into my stat tree, And I have a lot in my faith. Strength and endurance, strength and dexterity, I kind of went on a balance of it because I don't really need a lot of strength. I didn't go for high-end yield big weapons. I'm going to probably get there here in a few, but I'm trying to get my faith up so I can use some higher tier miracle spells. But as you can see, I went faith, dexterity, like I said, strength, dexterity, medium, and vitality, endurance. I went a little high on because I want to wear heavier gear sets, because when the fights come around, light armor is alright, but when it comes down to it, heavy armor gets you through the fight. Just kind of a rhyming sentence there, because heavy armor has better stats on enemies like fire resistance and frost resistance and so on. And attunement was just when I was trying out a mage kind of class, so I was really trying to get myself up there in that class. But as you can tell, I didn't really go so well in there, so I kind of dropped that one straight to faith. I was trying to do my magic, but vigor is pretty low. But in this one, it's mostly all about like just armor build, and knight class is not so bad here. And shield. Oh, forgot to tell you. There's in Dark Souls 2, you didn't have much of a way of weapons had unique characteristics and abilities. So depending on the higher level after a boss fight, you get a new unique weapon. Now, any weapon has a new stance build. Like this right here allows you to undercut and go straight on to pretty much parry an enemy's shield, and therefore pretty much break their shield capability and go into a dazed stance and instantly go in for a KO hit. I can't do it right now, but I can probably try. And this is gonna read this off. Behind enemy, critical hit. So this is called a backstab or crit hit, and all you have to do is just walk up on an enemy real snipe-like, and right when you're on the back. Oh! Yeah, that does a critical amount of damage on PvP. So players and player, if you get a crit or backstab on them, go for it. It'll definitely give you the edge in the fight. And depending on what kind of I just saw that guy using the bow. Okay, that's my bad. Forgot he has a bow. That's just gross. I'm really bad at this kind of tutorial breakthrough. This is my second, third time twitching, so bear with me on this. But anyway, the knight build's really easy. Heavy armor set, nice, great set at the beginning. Like, I think you get like a really okay sword, but I don't have it anymore. I kind of dropped that thing. But I'm using a kind of standard-ish sword for this playthrough. Also, I'm using a Black Knight's shield, which you don't get this until way later on. And it took me a lot of farming. Anyway, off point. This beginning area, and after you get, there should be an item just right over here if you missed it. And that's just another soul gather. Right over here should be 2 enemies. Before you let them get up, just take out one or the other before they can gather. So guys like these, you kind of want to kill them off early on, because once they group together, they can be more tremendously an enemy like than any other, because like once they group together, they can kill you off the bat. And archers, of course, in this game are kind of a pain in the ass. If you don't have a shield, dodging is the recommend. It's kind of easy to dodge in this game. There should be a soul just captured up somewhere around here. Let's look around. See, since I've my second playthrough, I will definitely have a lot of things that everyone else doesn't have. So do not be angry at me for this. I will be trying my best to step you through this as lightly as possible. And yeah, we got pretty much everything in this area. So we're going to go, and I'm going to show you the Crystal Lizard, or the Ravenous Crystal Lizard as they call them. They drop Tendonite scales, which are very helpful in scaling up weapons that are higher end, like great swords, ultra great swords, heavy axes, and stuff like that. Sometimes swords, like just regular ones. Mostly using unique. There's Twinkling Tendonite, Tendonite Scale, Tendonite Larger Scale, Tendonite Chunk, Tendonite Slab. Tendonite Slab, okay, this is the one that you're not going to get until way later in the game. And it is the critical point in getting your weapon up to +10, which means it'll be at its max tier leveling. And when it's at its max tier, it'll have its maximum damage output and its maximum durability. And it is very hard to get to that point. My weapon's already suffered like 1 durability point, but that's just because I like hit a rock or two. And, let's see what else I can do about. Oh, yeah, anyway, those are the tier things. We're about to go fight this guy and take his Tendonite Scale. And I think, let's see what this is right here first. Ooh, stone plate ring. Oh, sorry, this is my second playthrough, so I'm going to get that on my playthrough, but not yours yet. So, Spectral Stone Plate Ring slightly ups magic, lightning, and fire and dark damage absorption. That is a freaking awesome ring. Sorry, that is my ring. You're not gonna get that on your first playthrough, so don't fret about that. On your playthrough, you're probably gonna only see that soul in the distance and the ravenous Sorry, forgot his name again. This goddamn lizard. The Ravenous Crystal Lizard, which is right over there, he is going to attack you as soon as you walk, almost like you can't avoid him to get to that soul. He's going to see you. As soon as you hit a certain like range point, he's going to be able to get you in his line of view, and he's going to straight engage you. Now, you don't have to fight this guy at the beginning. You can totally just completely ignore this fight and go your ways straight to the boss fight. And, you know, don't have to really fight this guy, but it's kind of recommended if you want your first Titanite Scale Shard. That is just my take on it. So don't feel like you have to. Just do whatever you feel is best for you. If you don't feel comfortable fighting this guy, just go on, keep going, keep trucking on. There's a path that I originally didn't show you, so let's go back there and I'll show you which way you're supposed to go instead of going this way. Oh, damage. Fall damage. That's like one of the big killers in this game. The falls. Because fall damage, believe it or not, is one of the huge major killers in this game, because you can think that you can drop and like survive, and then you won't, because like your character is somewhat of a wimp and just die from like a 12-foot drop. It's so stupid. So this is the fight. Pull it the way you're supposed to go, you know, just straight from your resting crypt up straight past all this archway. Go straight this way and you'll be going straight towards your very first encounter of a boss. But since I am going to show you what happens when you kill a Ravenous Crystal Lizard, I can pretty much kill him no problems. Or I hope at least I can. Alright, anyway, let's get to it. Let's fight this guy. Oh, and I forgot before I just get to moving on. Shields have different weapon skill. So a shield like this has weapon skill on it. And I'll read it off here in a second. And I went past it. So let's cue the explanation boom, and you can use this in your own game. So if you want to have a good explanation instead of my own, so shields have like, you know, just the basic parry ability, which in some instances they do. This one has weapon skill. So if I hit the left trigger, I can go into my weapon skill versus I had to put my shield away for certain other shields, like for instance this shield. It has the parry. So when I go like this, I parry like that. You know, whenever you want an enemy is about to engage you in mid-strike, you hit parry. You can do them on a stagger and then do a straight follow into a critical, which is super helpful for some bosses. Not a lot of them. Remember, larger, big, huge bosses have pretty much invulnerability to parry, so don't end up thinking you're going to do it. Some, maybe, but I haven't encountered many. And if I'm talking fast, please tell me, and I will definitely try to, you know, get myself down. Alright, welcome to the chat. Let's try to... I'm just watching my own chat room. So I'm in the chat room by myself. Let us try to kill this Ravenous Crystal Lizard. Oh, he's tough. I remember how fought. He's got a basic strike combo thing. Not too tough, just basically just keep your rolls. Or just have a shield up. If stamina runs out, just roll away and let your stamina come back up. When he does that roll, he's going to go away for a bit. Don't try to go into a gauge right after roll, because he's got to attack just right after. Ice Whip. Shows ice crystals everywhere. Basically easy to dodge, just stay out of the range. Now I can just shoot that ice out of his legs. Dodge. Titanite Scale. Now is that hard? Not hard for me. For you, it may be a lot harder. Just remember, if you're not ready for this type of enemy, you will die once, and that's not a big deal the first time. There's their hero soul here. Very helpful when you want to get a lot of souls going. Killing him, not hard. Just keep yourself in mind that you want to kind of dodge at the beginning and just keep yourself at the ready and like just dodge, roll. Especially with the mercenary class, that guy, he's just a dual wielder, but he's got a really crappy shield, so he's heavy emphasis on like roll. Me as a knight, I'm more of a shield held my ground type of guy. Sometimes I don't. I use my double hand on my sword and go sing, 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 and you wah. Anyway. And let us keep continuing on towards the next fight area. Hold on one moment. Un momento, por favor.